Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I am back with part 2 of my 10 cards 1 kit using the Spellbinders April 2019 card kit. If you missed the first 5 cards, you can check those out in the video that I posted yesterday. So jumping in here to card number 6, I'm using a black card base that I created from the cardstock that's included in the kit. And then there was a larger Project Life card, so I've trimmed that down to 4x5 1/4, and I've gone ahead and attached that to the top of my card base with some ATG. Then I've got a bunch of these pieces of ephemera that I'm laying out. I really liked the little sentiment that was on this card. It reads, "Oh, hello, gorgeous," just above the swan there. So I thought it would be perfect to place that in with the telephone ephemera. So I've added the envelope and the larger flower and the pretty silver sort of leafy pattern, and I'm gluing that directly onto that Project Life card. And then the telephone and the single flower I'm going to go ahead and pop up using some of the foam dots. Then I'm grabbing one of the foam stickers, and this is sort of one of those "you are here" arrows from a map, and I've placed that up at the top there. Oh, and now I'm going to go ahead and add my ATG and attach that panel to the top of my card base. And once that's attached, I'm going to trim off the excess that's sticking over the edge there from those leaves. For the inside, I've got a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to stamp out the sentiment, "You are fabulous," and I'm using my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. At the bottom here, I've grabbed another leaf and flower ephemera, and I'm going to glue both of those right here in the corner. I'll add some ATG to the back of that panel and place that on the inside of my card base. So at this point, I decided I wanted to add some little black dots on the front. So I grabbed my Nuvo drops and I started putting this first one down, and I think it was just that it was really cold. It was very gloppy, and I couldn't get it to give me sort of a nice round domed shape. It kept wanting to sort of peak. So I decided to scratch that, and I pulled out some of these silver sequins, and I'm just going to add 3 of those instead of the 3 black drops. And that will complete card number 6. So here for card number 7, I'm keeping things super simple. I pulled out this really beautiful bouquet pattern paper and trimmed that down to 4x5 1/4. There I've added some ATG and attached that to the top of my card base. I'm going back to these foam stickers, and I pulled out this banner that reads, "You are magical." I'm going to go ahead and place that in the center towards the bottom of my panel. I then grabbed my Nuvo glitter pen, and I'm going to add just a little bit of shimmer to a few of the flowers and leaves, just sort of picking out a few here and there to add some glitter to. For the inside, I really wanted to use this silver sentiment from the tag, but as I mentioned in my previous video, the white color was just slightly off. So I decided to go ahead and just trim these off of the tag, and then I'll go ahead and glue them down individually. So I used my slicer to go ahead and trim the longer portions, and then I'll just take my scissors and snip off the edges here. Then I'll add some Nuvo glue and place these down to read, "Be happy, be bright, be you." I'll add some ATG to the back of that panel and place that on the inside of the card base. And that will complete card number 7. So here for card number 8, I'm going to start out by stamping some ballerinas. And I'm stamping the ballerina using some Hero Arts blush pigment ink. It's a really pretty light pink. And then I had previously gone ahead and stamped out that ballerina on some masking paper. So I've trimmed around there, and I'm going to go ahead and place that down so I can stamp a ballerina on either side of her and not have them overlapping. I wanted the ballerina in the center to be in the front. So I'll go ahead and stamp one off to the right. And then I'm just counting my blocks to keep them evenly spaced as I move this one over, and I'll go ahead and stamp one on the left as well. For the two girls in the back, I'm going to stamp out the shorter skirt, and I'm keeping that in the same blush pigment ink. And then for the girl in the front, I'm going to use the longer dress, and I'm going to stamp that out using my regular VersaFine Onyx Black ink. In the bottom corner, I'm going to add the sentiment, "You are beautiful," again stamping that with my Onyx Black ink. Across the bottom here, I decided I wanted to add a stripe of that black satin ribbon, so I'm adding down some 1/8 of an inch score tape. I'll go ahead and trim off the edges there. And then I'll place the ribbon across. Here I've grabbed a panel cut from that pink cardstock. This does measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so that'll cover the whole front of my card base. I'll add some ATG here and then fold the edges of my ribbon over. Add a little bit more ATG and then place that down on top of the pink panel. Kept trying out different colors, but nothing I liked as well as I liked the pink. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to the front of my card base, and then I'll place that panel down. For the inside, I've grabbed another one of these leftover sentiment stickers. This reads, "Be true to yourself," and I'll go ahead and place that directly on the inside of the card base. And that will complete card number 8. For card number 9, I've taken this pretty ballerina paper and trimmed that down to 4 by 5 1/4. I've also grabbed one of the pieces of ephemera that reads, "Dance to the beat of your own dreams." I've attached that up in the top corner there, leaving a little bit of that circle hanging off the top. And then here I've got some of these silver sequins. I'm going to go ahead and glue 3 of those down. I've trimmed off the excess from that circle. I'm going to add some ATG and place that panel down on the top of my card base. For the inside, I'm again going to use one of these stickers, and I've grabbed one that says "Trust Your Heart." I'll place that here on a Nina panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4. I'll add some ATG to the back and then place that panel on the inside of my card base. Now at this point, I decided that those silver sequins did not really go with the gold lettering that's on the inside sentiment. So I pulled in some gold sequins from, again, one of the last kits. I'm not sure exactly which one, but I just replaced the silver ones with 3 gold ones. And that will complete card number 9. So for card number 10, I am finally getting to the die that came in the kit, and it makes this really beautiful pleated skirt. So I trimmed out the skirt and the top from one of the pattern papers. It was one of the smaller patterns. It's sort of a lavender periwinkle color with some little flowers all through it. And then for the sash and the ties, I've trimmed those out using Paper Tray Ink Autumn Rose. Gone ahead there and folded all of the pleats into my skirt, and there I'm folding over the 2 ends of the sash. I'm gonna grab some 1/8 inch score tape and just place that along the back of those pleats to hold them in place. Then I'll also place some score tape behind the back of the sash. And you'll see here that I only placed the tape in the center there. The next time I put this together, I would place it all the way across because I ended up going back through and adding that to be able to fold the sides over anyways. So I place the sash down on top of the skirt, and then I'm gonna peel away the backing from that first piece of tape, and I'll place the top of the dress there. And then once I'm happy with how that looks, I'm going to add a little bit more score tape along the sides of the sash, and I'll fold those over. I didn't end up using the ties for this dress. I've also gone ahead and cut out a hanger from some black licorice cardstock. Added 2 dots there just behind the top of the dress, the shoulders of the dress, and I'll place the hanger behind them. So now I'm going to lay out my card. I've got a few tickets and this banner that reads "Wonderful Day." I'm going to go ahead and place the dress down first. And then I wanted to pop up that banner, but before I did, I wanted to tuck these tickets behind it. So here I'm layering these. And then I'll place those down, and I'm just gonna curl up the edges of those to give a little bit more dimension. I'm going to add some pop dots to the back of that banner. And then I'll go ahead and place that down. Next, I'm going to grab this butterfly. I've gone ahead and folded that in the center just to give those wings a little bit of dimension. So I'll go ahead and glue that in place. And then I'll finish this up with a couple of those silver sequins. For the inside, I'm again on a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5¼ and I've grabbed two other pieces of ephemera that read "Celebrate, Darling." Now these sort of had a paintbrush effect to them, and I went ahead and trimmed out around that, just getting rid of the white edges. To be honest, I kind of wish that I hadn't because it sort of lost the paintbrush effect. But since we didn't have doubles this time and I really liked the sentiment, I just decided I would go with it. So I used some art glitter glue to go ahead and place those down, and then some ATG to add my inside panel. And that will complete card number 10. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.